It seems every year more people are jumping on this low buy year challenge idea. Today, we're going to talk about some of the trends and some of the things that I have changed since I've retired and since inflation has gotten so high. Let's get started. As things change, we as people normally change along with it. So, today I'm going to talk about some of the things that I've changed as I've gotten older, as I've retired, and some of the things that I feel are important as we move into higher inflation times and things just costing so much in general. If you don't know me, I'm Bonita. I'm from pennies to dollars. I live in Kansas, and I'm going to talk today about low buy simple living in 2025, just as a rule. As a rule, I have changed to low buy in so many areas, and I'm going to share some of those with you today. Many of us have looked at resetting our spending habits, looking at how much we own, looking at how much we buy. And many people have gone back to some of the older ways of living. For instance, I have a sewing machine that belonged to my great aunt, and I gave it to my daughter because she didn't have one. Well, it needed some repairs, so we told her we would get it repaired for her. And my husband took it into the sewing machine shop, and they said it would be about 6 to 8 weeks before it was done because they are that backlogged. People are going to canning, foraging, sewing, mending, a lot of those things that had gone by the wayside as things that were more convenient took their places. Now we're stepping back in time and seeing a lot of those things becoming more popular. Now, I don't low spend all of the time. What I do is I low spend to save for the things that I want to spend my money on. I find that some things are more important to me than others, and that's just a big part of frugal living is setting your priorities of what is important to you so you can spend your money where you want to. Now, some of the things that I've cut back on since things have gotten so high are things like cereal, chips, crackers, a lot of prepackaged foods. I used to buy granola bars occasionally. I rarely buy them anymore because the granola bar has gotten smaller and the packages have gone from like 6 to 5. Everything has gotten smaller, but the prices have still gone up. So we are more of an ingredient household. But we use that philosophy along everything that we buy these days. I have even cut back on how much bread I buy, which is probably healthier for me. But bread has gotten so expensive, and there are some cheaper brands out there, but I just don't need it. I can eat something else. I can eat more items without bread on the side. And those are some of the things that I've changed over the years. Now, when I grew up, bread on the side was a cheap way to fill up your family and to add a different item to the table that would help in the meal presentation. But now it's just so expensive that I've almost eliminated bread from my grocery list. Now, a loaf of bread will last me a really long time because I just don't eat much of it and I don't want to have to buy another loaf when that is gone. Some of the things that I've also eliminated from my shopping list are things like frozen potatoes. I can't tell you the last time that I've purchased tater tots or hash browns or french fries. Those used to be something that I would buy regularly, but now we just buy whole potatoes because frozen potatoes have gotten so expensive and I can buy so much more food for what those cost. I have also reviewed and reevaluated some of the things that we were spending money on. For instance, things like memberships. Are they still valuable? We have a Sam's Club membership, and I used to be able to get a membership and you got a free person on that membership with you, so that the husband and the wife both had a membership for one fee. Now it is a membership per person, they told us. So now our membership costs have doubled. Not only that, memberships like this, we used to have to renew each year. Now they are automatic. So be warned about some of these things that have switched to automatic renewals that you may not be aware of. I'm also signed up for the Kroger Savings Plan, as I've shared before, and I save a lot of money on my medications every year for a $36 membership. Now, this is one that I wanted to continue, and I was worried that it would end if I didn't get on there and renew it. And when I got on there, it was set up for automatic renewal, which I did not realize. So many of these have switched to automatic renewal. So check your memberships and see if it's something that you feel there is a value in continuing. Now, some of these free trial offers, you will go in and think you're getting a free trial, and then you have to remember to cancel. That's something I stopped a long time ago because it would automatically charge me for that first month to 3 months before I could get it stopped. This tip actually came from my sister in law. She said she will still do that free trial, but as soon as she signs up for it, she goes in and deletes her credit card information, and that way they cannot automatically bill her. As I reviewed my budget for 2025, I was at the max on my Christmas budget and my birthday budget. That's something that I haven't wanted to give up. Now, when I reviewed that, I started thinking, to buy the number of gifts that I normally bought, I would have to increase this a lot. And my income doesn't match increasing this a lot. So what I did is I still did Christmas, but I cut down the number of gifts that I got everyone. Now, all of my kids are grown. They all have significant others, which means they're getting gifts from them as well. So I didn't feel bad about cutting down the number of gifts to stay in budget. All of these ideas are personal decisions that I made, and you would have to review your own household expenses and your own budget for 2025 to determine if any of these ideas would work for you. But I look at my budget very, very carefully. I've cut down a snack budget. I normally would budget myself for like $50 a month if I wanted to maybe get a coffee out or pick up something at McDonald's. Now that is down to 40, and I don't even spend that, but I do have it in the budget. I still have an $11 budget on my clothing, but I bought a lot of clothing in 2024. I've replaced most everything. I don't think I'm going to need that budget this next year either. But sometimes leaving those little budgets in there give you a little bit of cushion and flexibility to move that money around if you need to. Now, I did still leave a $50 eating out per month budget, but we don't always use that as well. So think about what you have coming up this next year. Think about your income versus your expenses. Can you leave some wiggle room? Are you going to need new tires? Are you going to need anything coming up this next year that you might need to work into your budget, and maybe you can flex some other areas? And I just want to throw out there that you are not being selfish if you need to flex your budget in one way or another. I still go to Texas and I'm down there for 3 months. Now, that's going to take a little bit of money out of my budget. But this is important to me. My kids know it's important to me. My kids want me to go and want me to enjoy my life and not just sit on my money or spend it on them. They have their own money. So if you've normally done some things for your family and now you're starting to spend a little bit in areas that you feel is important to you and is good for your self-care and your mental health, don't give those things up. Look at other things that you can adjust so you can still make your life worth living and things that you can look forward to. I have no problem cutting down on things around my house so that I can take a vacation each year. I have no problem cutting back on some areas like snacks or eating out if I can do something special along the way that will make it worthwhile. Life is about trade offs, and our budget many times is about trade offs and balance. So don't feel bad if you are trading off some things that other people do as a norm, but you don't feel that there's value in there and you want to place your value somewhere else. Many times when we're looking at our budget going into a new year, we will tweak this and that, but we don't make any huge changes. And I have found that each year, as my life progresses, I have different goals. I have different dreams. I have different priorities. So sometimes those budgets need changed a lot more than just a tweaking. I have to look at what do I want my life to look like this next year and what can I do in my budget to make that happen. Low buy is a great way to live your life. It gives you a lot of options during that year. But low buy, as a rule, everything across the board can sometimes be a little depressing. Now, if you're saving up for something and you have a huge goal, that is something that you're looking forward to, and that will power that low drive year for you. But if you just do this as a rule all the time without giving yourself anything to look forward to, it can be tough at times. So be sure to build in some of those things into your budget that will not just make you feel like you're getting nothing out of that budget for the entire year. So I just want to encourage you that as someone that lives on a low income, I try to do that so that I can enjoy my life as well as low buy in areas that just are not that important. I have faith, you guys, in your ability to review your budget and see where you can make changes and have flexibility this year. I hope you will share in the comments some of the ways that you're doing that so that we can help each other. As always, I thank you for joining me today. If this video has brought you any value, please give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it so very much. My goal is still to reach 8,000 viewers by the middle of January, and I thank you all for being here so very much. I hope you have a great weekend.